Hello coin pushers, budding pilots and power hoarders everywhere. In this episode, we're looking at a timepiece that's nautical miles away from being just another novelty gamer watch. This one belongs on any prestigious high score screen and is a piece of pure, unadulterated, old school history. The Capcom 1942 Pixel Limited Edition watch. Now for those of you under the age of has a mortgage, let's do a quick history check on this retro game which inspired this timepiece. Despite its name, the 1942 video game didn't actually come out in 1942. We would have to wait another 42 years before Capcom finally released the game in 1984. This vertical shooter quickly became Capcom's first mega hit in their successful 1940X series and helped cement their place as a formidable player in the arcade game industry. Designer and gaming legend Yoshiko Okamoto initially envisioned the game as a space shooter, but initial attempts were apparently so bad that executives told him to, and I quote, try again, and make it about World War II. Okamoto took inspiration from the World War II movie Zero, and was soon up and running with his new vision. However, the game had to overcome an ethical dilemma, one that didn't involve figuring out why kamikaze pilots wore safety helmets. Instead of a Japanese pilot shooting down US aircraft, it was Capcom, a Japanese company, making a game where you, the player, played the part of an American pilot shooting down Japanese planes in your Lockheed P-38 Lightning. So why would Capcom, a Japanese company, make this controversial decision?
Simples.
Because of that sweet Western arcade money, the decision was an international business strategy disguised as a pixelated dogfight. My good friends at AVI sent me their latest iteration of the 1942 series, the succinctly named Close Automatic Capcom 1942 Pixel Limited Edition Onyx Ace AV4126-01. The company also has two other versions in the collection, the Azure Ace and the Green Ace, with each version of this watch limited to just 200 pieces. But today I'm taking a look at the Onyx Ace version to see how it looks and to see how it differs from the previous model. So let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look. This little package from AVI. And a nice little retro package in there. It's the plane and explosion. Side you can see Capcom Limited Edition 170 of 200. And the little plane. Okay, let's open this up. We've got AVI card, and on the back is a 1942 and the Limited Edition 170 of 200. A QR code, yep, and it takes you to the instruction manual. With that, here's the watch. It's quite solid actually, hefty. Love that dial, very nice. And the crown with the plane on the side there, you can just see it engraved. We'll talk about that crown a bit later. Polished stainless steel, it's lovely. And Capcom, I love this, that's a nice little touch. And you've got your registry there, and a nice engraving of the P-38 on the back. Okay, put it on. Looks good. I love the power up plane there. I think removing the plane off the second's hand is actually a bonus. It looks better, just flows nicer. Little date window. This is anti-reflective glass. Yeah, nice. get the box of this watch. AVI times Capcom. Very retro. I wore the watch for the following week, and here are my impressions. For me, the magic really happens with the dial, which sits on this 46mm case. The faithful little scene from the game, where the P-38 Super Ace fighter is locked in battle and shooting down the enemy, is so retro that your tiny pew pews will nearly drown out the sound of the Seiko NH35 automatic movement ticking away in the background. Now, unlike the previous model, this version has added another P-38 in its wingmen power-up state, which lets you fire missiles at the enemy. The watch uses an 8-bit style font for the numbers on the dial, and the use of both white and yellow adds a nice little touch of pixelated class, not featured on the previous model. The second hands has ditched the plain found in the original and has been replaced with colours featured in the game itself, a change which I think is more streamlined. The 46mm solid steel case is complemented by an anti-reflection coated sapphire crystal lens. When combined with the nostalgia elements of the 3D pixelated dial, it's enough to fulfill any retro gamer's wildest fantasies. The pull-out crown has a nice little touch with the P-38 engraved on it, but for me this was the only part of the watch I wish were different. I personally think the crown is a little too big, and a smaller, more subtle one would have looked much better, as this chunkmeister takes up too much visual real estate for my liking. The metal band of the previous model has been placed by a genuine 22mm leather strap, and the nylon stitching near the case is an elegant touch that I really like. The 50m water resistance is more than adequate for this type of watch, and I tested the loom on several occasions and found it to be competent. Coming in at 96 grams, the watch feels solid on the wrist, and despite its looks, the Onyx Ace felt more like a quality timepiece than a novelty gamer watch. Having worn it for the past week, I can honestly say that I've really enjoyed the experience. The retro feel, especially the pixelated dial, was a standout feature for me. So who is this watch for? Well, if you're a watch collector, this is a fun, quality piece with an interesting backstory. But if you're a gamer or a Capcom fanatic who appreciates how the simple 2-button gameplay of 1942 helped launch a legendary company that went on to give us Street Fighter, then this is a must-have. It's a beautifully nerdy tribute to the game that taught an entire generation of physics nerds that a plane could in fact spin in the air, and that sometimes you just have to appease the American market by letting them blow up imaginary Japanese planes, just so long as you're taking their money. Do I like this watch? Oh yeah. And it will be a timepiece I will proudly wear as someone who experienced the birth of the video game age firsthand. Do you own this watch? Let me know what you think in the comments, or just tell me your high score. But I want evidence, people. Hard evidence. Pew pew! Until the next time.